So the next topic. So how's the next topic is about your high school life, right? And the first specific question is, what did the typical day looks like when you are in high school?
Well, I'll have to divide that into
Two parts?
two parts.
Okay.
There's pre-COVID and COVID.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And I view these two different parts of my high school experience very differently. Or like I have a very distinct memory of both.
That's very interesting.
And it's really weird because I remember pre-COVID, everything had its own rhythm, its own routine.
Suddenly COVID happened.
And then post-COVID, where everything was so disorganized and like unnaturally real, unnaturally heavy. You know, I remember later in my high school experiences being like having some genuine like hard times, turmoil, you know, and so I think those were two different ways I navigated life. But to start from the first part, of high school, I remember being very like anxiety driven and stressed, but I didn't have anxiety problems. I was just like always worried about stuff. But I would, you know, typically wake up early and then fall back asleep until my mom would whack me, be like, "Get up for school! You gotta get up for school!" And she'd take me to school. But
what time you get up?
School would start at what, 7:25?
School start at 7:25.
Yeah.
You may get up at
like I would try to get up at 6:30. We would get up at like 6:50.
Half an hour is enough for you to get up and arrive at your classroom?
Well, yes and no. Like the school was close, but definitely like I would come to school a little late.
Okay. Is that common for most of the students?
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of the students would just never come.
Never come or be late?
Both. Like, okay. I think very, like, I went to a very multicultural section. Oh, actually, I shouldn't say section, but very urban high school.
Urban.
And urban implying like very ethnically diverse, very just kind of like poor. You know, like very
low income.
Low income, yeah, but really big. I think it was about 2,000 people.
2,000 students in the whole high school.
Yeah.
From I think from 10th grade to 12. No. 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
Which means 500 students in each grade.
About so, yeah.
500. What's the size for one classroom? 30.
Almost 40 sometimes.
You know, we have 60 in one class.
Jesus.
And we have, I think that we have 15. Yeah, 15 class in one grade. So which means that we have, I think that we should have 900 to 1,000 in one grade. And in China, high school is three level. 10, 11, 12.
Wow.
This is high school. So which means that the high school I go to has 3,000 students. So
that's a lot. That's still a lot.
That's you think about the population.
Right. Yeah, it's a big.
It's a big class. You can go ahead.
But yeah, dude. Like, typical day would just be. I remember my first 2 years was more of a learning experience of learning how to be aware of myself. Like, here's an interesting thing. I remember coming into late middle school, early high school, fully being aware or fully having self-awareness. Like I was very conscientious, and I feel like I knew a lot of people who weren't self-aware, who weren't.
Many people have that self-awareness very late.
Yeah, they do, and
you must be a person who have that self-awareness pretty early.
Yeah, it was torture, but
well, it's hard to say. It has a good part. It has second part. Yeah.
And I think like it helped me a lot to perceive my environment more accurately as to what was going on. You know, to say, okay, this is actually what's going on rather than my assumption. But I was still very naive, very innocent, very simple person. You know, I was a very fearful person actually. I had a lot of. I did not know then, but I had a lot of emotional baggage that I had not realized up until like years later, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah, I'd just be coming to school kind of experiencing everything, like a lot of the weeks like a lot of things for the first time, and just be like, I feel weird. I feel.
Then when you finish your school,
Right. When or
what time? I mean 3 p.m., 4 p.m., something like that.
2 p.m. Yeah.
So early.
Yeah. What do you mean? 7 to 2? I mean, it's so long.
For example, for my high school, I think that we arrive at classroom at 6:45. Arrive.
Jesus.
Then we finish the morning session at 12. Then I think we start the afternoon class at 2. Then maybe finish at about 6, something like that. 6. And it haven't finished. Then we go for dinner. Then we start our night.
You have a third set of classes?
Yeah. I think that from 7:30 to 10, something like that. Then my dad will pick me up, and then I will do my homework. Literally speaking, every day I sleep after 12.
Dude, what? Is that even helpful?
You know, you have SAT.
Yeah.
We have a college entrance examination.
That's very big.
To go to the university I went to, I think that we in that province, province in China is like a state.
Yeah.
I think that year we have 400,000 students in that province, not the whole country.
Wow.
To go to my college, I think maybe you need to be the top 1,000.
Holy crap.
Or 3,000, something like that.
Yeah.
So the point is that the competition is very severe. So literally speaking, high school students need to spend every minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have the luxury to have a girlfriend in high school. You see the calendar. I didn't find a place for romantic relationship. You can keep continue. 2 p.m. is for us. It's early.
And you know what's funny? I remember in high school thinking, I have no time.
What are you doing after 2 p.m.? What are we doing after 2 p.m.?
Now that I think about it, I didn't really do much.
Maybe do some sports or play with friends. What are you doing?
Well, actually, yeah, I did hang out with friends, but I didn't do sports. I tried track, but then COVID happened, and then But I think like pre-COVID, I think I did go out a lot. Actually, I did go out on a lot of little adventures around town. But I think like I did hang out a lot actually with some friends. But definitely in a different way than I would like junior, senior year. But just kind of like innocently going to places and like being like, oh, I've never been to this store.
But it's more like exploration, the city. Gotcha.
So, it was really simple. I do have fond memories though of that time because I'm like, wow, I was like at a point in my life where, you know, everything was curious. You know, I was very curious about things, you know.
That's just now we talk about this curiosity. I think that's a very important thing. Yeah, of course, it's easy to have curiosity when we are younger.
Right.
As time went by, it's very easy to lose such curiosity.
Right.
But I think that's a very important thing.
Oh yeah.
What in which grade you are when the COVID happened?
I was a sophomore actually, but like into my later
so my you almost finished the second year.
Then,
that's why it dividing your high school literally half.
Yeah, like literally the ending part of my sophomore year, COVID happened, and then junior year that was like all online.
That's interesting.
Or half of it was online, and then the rest of it
interesting
in person.
How it looks like after COVID?
Oh, that was weird. So between my sophomore year and my junior year, I had gone through some of the most intense emotional experiences I had ever been in my life. Intense, like genuinely, like very heartbreaking. And,
why?
Well, I'll kind of condense it, but it was like for the first time, like I fell in love. It was the first time I'd actually like had gotten attention. It was the first time where I was isolated, like truly isolated from people, like physically, you know.
So, okay, so you fall in love
Right.
with a girl during COVID.
Yeah.
So which means that you maintain that relationship in a remote way most of the time.
Yeah, a lot of the time it was mostly remote. It was really but here's the thing. I was secretly a rebellious kid, so I'd go outside and try to meet with her.
Okay, nice.
But yeah, but in this time in falling in love and being isolated, I had also had been brokenhearted and isolated and like gone through a lot of like a lot of my friends actually stopped being friends with me. And I'll get probably more into that later in the questions. But what did happen was that I had gone through a lot of condemnation from people. Most people I don't think get to experience heavy condemnation, but like I remember I was accused of, doing like crazy stuff to this chick who I was deeply in love with, and not true, right? But a lot of people believed it and like isolated me and attacked me and condemned me. And
that can we regard it as some kind of bullying?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Like it was weird because it was bullying, but it was in a very like
it's not a physical bullying.
Right,
it's more like isolation.
Yeah.
Isolation.
Yeah, I
cold
mean-
violence. Cold violence.
Yeah, and I think like it was weird because COVID enhanced that like completely. I like didn't have a choice but to be alone, right? But I think like in that moment while school, and here's an interesting part of
Mhm.
like while I was in school, a lot of it was remote.
Oh yeah.
So I wasn't really in school. I was really on my computer.
Yeah, that's
You know.
that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Because remote,
Mhm.
if you don't turn on your camera,
Right, it's just like
no idea what you are doing.
No, and a lot of the time it was just teachers putting these like really simple assignments and just like this is easy, But
You have a really lucky high school.
Dude.
For us,
yeah, just all this and me,
Yeah.
just all the free
so
time.
many
Yeah.
examinations for us. Yeah.
Bad. But honestly, Barack, all that freedom was not good. Like too much will suffocate.
That's actually a very
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
topic
Mhm.
because, well, we can go out of track a little bit.
Yeah.
When we say freedom,
Mhm.
of course, for students, freedom is do what you want to do.
Right.
Even for this country,
Mhm.
a lot of people came here. Of course, one of the motivation because more opportunity, and some people came here for the more for ideology
Right.
reason. Let's say freedom.
Mhm.
How you understand freedom?
Freedom. I remember I had this epiphany one time where like I watched this YouTube video
Uh-huh.
someone describing freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was at a very immature age where I used to think freedom was about being excessive or being
Saying what
overly indulgent,
Uh-huh.
or being okay with like I don't know. I had a very like skewed perception of like what people would be free to do. Like I'm free to, let's say, only think about me.
Yeah.
Like a very selfish perception.
Or drink as much Coke as you want.
Right, or be
Play as many video games as you want.
yeah, or something like that. I think I also had a very say this, but like very perverted perception of freedom, and that was just like weird. But in which like I would mix a lot of like politics and selfish ideology and whatever. But
Mhm.
the way in which I now view freedom
Yep.
is with discipline and restraint. You know the saying like is it your mind that controls you, or is it your body that controls you?
Exactly.
And it's like I think I used to have the perception that like my desires were like, if
Yeah,
I
of
give
course.
into my desires, it's freedom, but
It's actually, it's just like, for example, on street, you look at a girl, she's so beautiful, she's so attractive.
Right.
Your desire
right,
will drive you to do something.
right.
Right,
But are
but
we in control of
yeah,
that,
are you
right?
control with that, right? And also, I think that in romantic relationships, sometimes it happens.
Right.
A lot
yeah.
of crazy things
Happens,
happen, right? And part of the reason that happens is that, the desire
Yeah.
overtake our rational.
Like talking about lust, right? And not just
Yeah.
not sexual lust, but
Exactly.
a lust for things and people and emotions. Like
Exactly. I think that's a huge thing dominate,
yeah,
especially male animals' behaviors.
Yeah.
Maybe for female, it's not so strong as, but for male,
it's present. That's for
exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel a little bit sad that such strong lust desire make male to do a lot of irrational stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Well, I think that we can move ahead to next topic. The next topic